Hey guys, welcome back to the Brigade podcast, episode 75. My name's Mike, and I'm joined here with Sam.
Yo, what up, guys? We are episode 75, 25 more to reaching episode 100. It should be exciting. We've got a special episode planned for 100.
Yes, sir.
Nothing special this episode, just your regularly scheduled program. But episode 100, wow, what a feat that will be when we hit it.
Yeah, it'll be a long journey since the beginning to hit 100.
Yes.
Hundo.
We are nearly there. We're super excited to get there. But let's focus on this episode.
Yippee!
How you been, Mike? Anything? You just doing anything?
I've been alright. Took the week off between Easter and Anzac Day, so
Yes, that's right. We had Easter, so happy Easter to all of you.
Happy Easter.
Hope you had lots of chocolate, Easter egg hunts, and the Easter egg bunny. It's the Easter egg. No, it's Easter bunny. Come visited you and delivered you some delicious chocolates.
Easter eggs, yeah.
And then of course here in Australia we had the Anzac Day on the Friday, so extra day off. So we get Good Friday, Easter Monday, and we had Anzac Day, which is in commemoration to the Anzac soldiers who went and fought for us in, was it war or something? I don't know. I don't know what war. All I know is they went to Gallipoli Beach or something.
That was for World War One.
That was what? Sorry.
World War One.
World War One. Yes, yes, that's the exact war. And so of course we pay respects and tributes to all those who fought. Lest we forget.
Least we forget.
Least we forget. I'm not really that good at this community stuff, but that is what it is. They fought hard for us.
They fought for our freedom and for the world. So there you go.
That's right. So, outside of that, anything?
Chilling, playing games. Got sick, kinda on Friday to Saturday, and still a bit sick now. But we surviving.
That's all right.
So
that's all right. We just go with the flow,
Yeah.
Life hits you with unexpected stuff, which is what happened with me. My computer decided to stop working.
Yeah, died.
Which was something that was gonna happen because it was slowly decrepitating. Or what's it called? Not decrepitating. Decrepitating, I think it's called.
I think.
Words. And it finally hit its limits. Well, it can still turn on, but that's not enough.
I mean, you can't do much if you can just only turn on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything else. You can't really. It's just like, all right, it turns on.
Exactly.
Just it turns on, can't do anything. Anything you try to open will require a restart. So it's like,
yep. So here, my technician came, and that's exactly what he said. So we'll be getting a new computer soon. That's why I have not been uploading as often. But for the podcast, I could happy to say that I'm still I can still record via my phone.
Yeah. So if the audio is a bit rough here and there,
maybe no,
can't do much.
A podcast without scuff.
I mean,
podcast at all always has to have some sort of scuff.
That's always our podcast, yep.
Yep, that's just how it goes. Episode 35 and episode 100, I'm pretty sure we'll have some scuffness as well.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Other than that, we are entering the month of May here in Australia, which is near the end of autumn into winter.
Yeah.
So yes, it's gonna get colder. So the flu season will start, which I think we both not feeling 100%, but it is what it is. We keep pushing.
We keep pushing. We're gonna have to get through it.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to turn on some of the ACs. You got to turn on the heaters. You got to wear your fluffy jumpers. You got to your blankies. It's just how it works.
I'm not looking forward to like the work, like the early morning, like I guess
Yes,
drive and
that,
stuff
that
to
is that
work.
is
That's
that is
not gonna be fun.
that is the one issue. Early morning, I think is going to be freezing. But just wild like that, like it's kind of like it's already like cold now. I don't want to know how cold it is going to be in winter.
Oh no, it's gonna get colder.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and it's also like raining constantly now, so
It
doesn't
is
help.
what it is. It's just how it goes.
Yep, that's how it goes down on the.
Yeah, it just doesn't snow here, which is like a one plus, I'd say.
I mean,
Like if it
unless
snowed,
you're
well,
on the
yeah, unless you're in
mountains.
like the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
But like, like the one thing is that it doesn't snow here, which is like, can you imagine that? Like it gets so cold, the weather's like, screw you guys, we're gonna just start snowing. Like,
uh,
yeah, look,
I
if
mean,
that happens, I'll eat my words.
look, if it somehow gets me out of a day of work, I'll take it. I don't know
But
if it would
like,
though.
I feel like it's gonna be like we probably shut down a lot of places because like here in Australia, we are not ready for snow.
No, we're not.
We are not ready for snow. Like if snow happens, we are completely screwed.
We've had hail though. That's surprisingly.
No,
Like we've
hail is
had hail,
different, right? Like,
but not snow.
look, what I mean by that is like, for example, we've got no, we don't. I don't think like people just carry shovels to shovel out snow. There's a lot of
No,
countries where people know it's going to snow, they have shovels to shovel, and then we don't have any snow plows here in Australia that much.
no, we
You
don't.
know what I mean?
Normally, yeah.
So like, if the government comes and like, you know what I'm, so we've got like, well, who knows? We might have all these stuff like just like tucked away, you know.
Could be, but we're not
Well, I
aware
mean,
of
like
it
the government might just be like, "All right, we have snow plows, like just in case," because like, but like, I mean, like, it's not like something where it's like,
at the
for
ready.
example, let me hear with this. Let me hear this, right? So, go say you're in a country that like snows all the time, right? Like, for example, you know, there's a snowy season every year,
Yeah.
so you've got that tool. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone's family would probably have like everyone's household, so it would have like a shovel, right?
Right.
Example, and then the government might have like 20 snowplows, right? Here in Australia, I'm pretty sure we'll have like two snowplows here, unless you're near the Blue Mountain. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like if and like you sit there, it's like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure some people might have shovels, but like no one's got like a proper snow shovel. You know what I mean? So
True.
then, like if it does happen, like right, like it's like a tragedy ready to happen.
If anything, they'll just probably what they'll do is like just borrow from places
The
nearby.
Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
That is the only place to borrow.
Well, I mean, but like if it's for a whole country, if it's countrywide, then you probably have to borrow quite a lot. But we
Like
gotta
I'm
do what
just
we gotta
stating
do.
some stuff. Who knows? Maybe the government's like, all right, we've got a stash of like snowplows just sitting there,
Yeah.
and then like snow gear, like not really that much. I mean, we probably do have because people like to go skiing in the Blue Mountains. Like, yeah, but who knows?
Who knows?
It is a big who knows.
Not
Yeah.
really.
So that's our life update. Outside of playing video games, watching YouTube, watching anime, chilling, all the fun stuff they usually do. Um, anything else that have been interesting that I've done is probably nothing. Nothing of interest.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, it's a pretty boring lifestyle. Um,
I was just
yes.
going out sometimes during my week. Just
Yeah, you went
yeah, a
out to
couple
drink
times.
on Anzac Day.
Yeah,
Were
that's
there
what we do.
any Anzac stuff?
Actually,
Any
there
Anzac
was a lot
stuff?
of people in ads, like people in uniform with like was because we
Yeah,
had to like go to a place we were trying to find,
correct.
and
Yep.
there was like a lot of people actually in uniform with medals walking around here. Yes,
Nice,
I
nice.
didn't expect to see any, but there was quite a bit I saw, so I was surprised.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had some sort of like event earlier that day
No, there's
for it.
probably you can go to the memorial place and they'll be all over those places.
Yeah, like a memorial or even like a march or something. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if they
yeah.
had that
No,
as
I'm
well.
saying they'll do that like what's it called at those places. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the biggest news story that came out worldwide. It's a pretty sad story. This away after giving on Easter, was it Sunday? Easter
Yeah,
Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
After giving like the Sunday, what is it called? Like the Easter prayer. Um,
Actually, no, no, no.
yeah.
Sorry, it was Monday. Monday, not
Oh, Easter
Sunday. No,
Monday.
no,
Easter
no.
Monday. After giving that prayer. Yeah. Look, 88 years old. I don't know how long he served as the Pope. For many years and many decades. Um,
I can double check real
I
quick.
mean, I don't know how to feel about this. This is the same as like the Queen's passing. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to feel.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It happened on like I reckon like look like died on like one of the holiest days could have passed away. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know if that's like a good or bad thing. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're still holding like ceremonial stuff like till this day for him.
yeah. Probably.
I don't know when's the next pope going to be elected, so like I can't say anything about that. I mean, yeah. You could probably find a whole bunch of pope stuff. I mean, you look up Twitter. There's a whole bunch of pope threads that
Yeah,
talk about
true.
Pope Francis. Um,
Yeah, but I think also what like earlier, I think it was earlier today. They're
yeah,
holding like the funeral for him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was and like there was a bunch of people going and all that.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a big deal. That's because obviously it's not going to be like a 1 day thing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no,
Yeah, it's like it's been a week, like from nearly a week when it happened, and you know it's still being talked about. We're recording this on the Sunday here in
yeah,
Australia,
Sunday.
which has nearly been a week since it happened.
True. Yeah, by tomorrow will be a week.
Mm.
By the way, he was like, what do you call it? Basically, became pope in 2013, so it's been 12 years since he's been a pope.
Yeah, like a decade.
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably pretty much say he's like he's been serving like
Oh, he's been serving
the
for a
church like
long, long time. Yeah,
like
long,
way
long, long
longer.
time.
You know what I mean?
Of course, you have to go through,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly. That's
to
what
be,
I'm
I
saying. Like
mean,
decades worth of like
yeah,
um yeah, decades worth of like I want to say training to be the pope, but like you know like praying and all that stuff. Um, look, I don't know too much, but like yeah, um, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there.
I guess, yeah, we'll see I guess who gets elected as the new pope.
Who knows? Yeah,
But I guess rest in peace, Pope Francis.
exactly. Our best wishes, my dude.
Yeah. He was,
Um,
he was serving since the 1970s, there.
yeah, there you go. Crazy.
There you go.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about something a lot more lighthearted, but also super controversial.
Righty.
Last time we spoke about the Nintendo Switch 2 situation.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and with the tariffs, they said that the prices were going to change.
True. Oh, that's when they, like,
Um,
stopped the pre orders and all that.
in America,
Yeah.
here in Australia, we were able to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. So when that comes out, I don't know if we'll do an unboxing video or we'll just show it off on Twitter, but we will definitely give you our thoughts when um that console comes out.
Yep.
But Nintendo Switch, Nintendo, not Nintendo Switch, Nintendo has announced the updated pricings of everything that's been impacted, which is pretty much increased pretty much the pricing of majority of the items by about like $5, a couple items by like 10, and the dock by like about 25, I think.
Yeah, it's mainly just the accessories. Or it is just only the accessories that were affected.
Yeah, but they did say like subject to change or
Yeah,
may
of
vary.
course. I mean, they have to say
So
it legal reasons.
yeah, obvious for
Yeah.
very obvious legal reasons. Thoughts on that?
I mean, if you're gonna buy controllers, then yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Like, it will be annoying
Well, see,
messing
it
up.
hurts more because like the Switch didn't use the new like thing,
Oh,
right?
the
Right. So like in scenario one, obviously, where you've got like more than one people, you're buying the Switch, like let's say for a family, right? You're probably going to need more than one Switch controller, right? Like,
right.
you know what I mean? So that's, and then, but then number two is like Nintendo, those greedy bastards decided to use the old Joy-Con controller thing, so joystick. So if drift does happen, you're gonna have to buy more controls.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason they didn't
That's
use the what do you call it? Forgetting the name for it now, but
yeah. But
that's annoying.
going back to pricing, right? Like, right, this is my opinion, right,
Yeah.
on pricing situation. Like $5. No, it's not ideal, right? Like this isn't something like as much as we say Nintendo is greedy, as much as we say all companies are greedy in terms of the game industry, right?
Right.
Because like it's like true. Like Nintendo goes and raises the prices of like Mario Kart for no, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like what,
Um,
80 USD or something.
yeah, which they did have a Mario Kart Direct. I haven't seen too much of it, so have you? I don't remember
No,
if
I
you
I
said
didn't
you have.
even watch it, to be
Okay,
honest. No.
so we probably won't give comment on that. But let's get back to what I was saying, right? This isn't like Nintendo's fault, right?
No.
This is just like Nintendo caught in the backlash. You know what I mean? Of the tariff situation.
Yeah, that's happening in America.
But like, let me hear with this. Let me hear this. Let's say the tariff happened way before Nintendo released their console, right?
Yeah.
And then they released it at like the price point of was it 500
Oh, it was like 450 USD.
or 50, and then 500, right?
Yeah.
USD. Do you think people would blame Nintendo, or do you think it would have been like, well, the tariff because we don't know how much the tariff increased the price? But now the fact that we situation right
Yeah.
can clearly see the price change because of the tariff. You sit there like, God damn it, like it was just Nintendo being greedy.
Well, either way, even if they did it after the fact, people would still put a partial blame on them
No.
because
But
they
what I'm trying to
choose the
say is like,
price.
you sit there, it's like, can you imagine this? Like, let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
Like the tariff happens like way before Nintendo releases the whatever the console, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo releases the console, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's priced at like 450 without Mario Kart and 500 with Mario Kart, yeah. People might be like, well, let's say the tariff, for example, would have been $100 extra. So if the tariff didn't happen, it would have costed 350, 400. You know what I mean? Example. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what we're saying now is that, like, even with the tariff, they're saying that the price of the console hasn't changed. You know what I mean? You kind of get what I'm saying,
No,
trying to say.
no, I get what
It's
you mean.
that's clearly Nintendo actually setting their price. You kind of get what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Mm. But anyway, I digress about that scenario I just made. Yeah, what we'll talk about is like this isn't Nintendo's fault. It's um the tariff situation.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um, but I could say this right. At least it wasn't too much of an increase. You know what I mean?
I guess at the very least. Although I will say the Joy Cons not having Hall effect analog sticks is kind of their fault.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like here in Australia, $5 is a massive increase. It's about like $8 or $9.
Oh yeah, of course, and that as well.
Yeah, when you think about us,
That's gonna be
but
annoying.
like yeah, because look for me, like the biggest increase is obviously the dock being charged $25 extra. But how often are you buying a new dock? Like
Yeah, barely.
right, so like because like you think about this, like the most often one you're buying is the Joy-Cons or the Pro controller, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because like, okay, let me hit this. Outside of like my own family, most people buy a Pro controller because the Joy-Cons are never the best controllers to use.
Right, of course.
Right. So you'd say, okay, well, so like with or without the stick drift issues, so most people be like, all right, even like they'll buy like the controller because they'll be like, all right, like the controller's gonna be way better than like the Joy-Cons. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the only difference is you're gonna get like so with the Pro controller you only the controller. Most if you get the Joy Cons you get two, which could be used for two
No,
controllers.
I get that, but
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is like most people won't even like some people might just like on the Switch today release, yeah.
Yeah.
They might buy the controller with the Switch too because they'll be like, I don't really like the controllers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they don't, but it's like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean some people are just gonna do that to
Because
save
like
money.
that's before like the stick drift issue even happens. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, of course.
Mm.
But I mean they're
But
gonna have to end up buying more anyways when the stick does start drifting.
correct, 100%. But at that point, you would say the stick drift does happen, right?
Yeah.
You're probably like it depending on your situation. Let's say if you were a guy that likes to take the Switch on the go, right? You'd
Yeah.
probably need to buy the Joy Cons, right?
Of course, yeah. Makes sense.
If you were a guy who sits there and he's playing on the TV pretty much majority of the time, right? You
Right.
might be more often inclined to buy the what's it called,
The Pro controller.
the Pro controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends. It definitely depends on the situation or well, whatever you want to do, right? Um,
I mean it's down to
okay,
preference, basically.
because okay, yeah, it's 100% down to preference. You know what I mean? Because then you've got all these other people that are like, oh, like I want to buy a completely different color Joy-Con, which like can happen.
Yeah, can.
Right? But then at that point, I'm like, you're probably rich. There's no way you're gonna buy a controller just to change the color.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too expensive. Because of what? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. If it's 95 American, oh god, it's gonna be a lot. Yeah,
yeah. And then like okay, but then like okay, outside of that, like look, the dock had the most expensive change. You're not buying too many docks, right?
yeah,
I don't think a lot of people are buying a camera, so that's fine. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the carry case, yeah. If you're taking it out, yeah, you're probably gonna buy that. What else is there?
I
Like
mean,
the wrist straps, like you buy that when the controller. Yep.
I was gonna say
Um,
the SD card being also a bit more expensive is annoying because
yeah, the
everyone's gonna
SD card
basically
will
buy it.
hurt. The SD card will hurt
I could also see the
because
adapters being a bit annoying because some people, like if they got like if they,
you mean the charging adapter.
yeah, I can see people
If it's
buying that.
USB-C, I don't think that's a big issue. You can buy any USB-C cable; should be
True,
fine.
if you want. I don't
If
know.
it's USB-C, because it might not be.
No, it is USB-C, but it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
then you can just buy it. Yep. Okay. The power cable is completely different, though. That's a completely different scenario.
What does it not come with the AC
HDMI.
adapter?
No, sorry. The I'm complete. I made a complete blunder. My bad.
What?
I'm saying I just messed up because the power adapter would be the USB-C cable.
Yeah, it'll come with it. If it doesn't, it'd be stupid.
No, that was just me being an idiot. The Yeah, like I could totally see the SIM card like completely with the more expense just like because this console won't have a lot of storage.
Yeah.
First and foremost, right? And then second of all, if we're getting games such as what's the FromSoft game again?
Uh, is it Bloodlines? Give me a second.
Yeah, whatever that game's called, right? That is not a 5 GB game.
No, it's not. No.
What?
It's not going to be 5 years. It's going to be a big
Yeah,
game.
exactly. So you're gonna need to buy the SD card. I'm just saying because like usually the Switch games are not the biggest games in the planet, right?
Yeah, usually isn't.
But they're saying that they want to like have like the FromSoft game, which is not going to be like a small game, and then they're trying to push the boundaries of the game, so they're kind of going to develop like all these games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's gonna.
So you're going to need to buy an SD card.
Sure. It's all the game's called Dusk Bloods. That's what it's called.
That's good. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know what I mean. You are going to get a SD card.
No,
So
you're
yeah,
gonna
that
have
kind of
to.
sucks with the increased price.
No, it definitely is. And if you're someone who likes to carry stuff, You're also definitely gonna have to get the screen protector
Correct. Yeah.
and carrying case. So
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
that's what I understand. A lot of people have been kind of saying this, which makes sense. Like
Right.
it's like when you think about it, when you're getting this, you're gonna have to buy so much other stuff, and just all gonna add up at the end.
Well, I'm gonna hit this. Look, I'm gonna hit with this, right? You don't need the Nintendo Switch carrying case.
Well, no, but if you go out a lot,
You can
and
buy
you
like
need
what I'm
the
saying. No, what
thing,
I'm saying, you can buy a knockoff brand one for a lot cheaper, and it'll do the job.
probably.
Right, but I'm saying, like, for example, what you can't buy is the controller. You
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can buy a knockoff controller, but everyone knows that the knockoff controller is complete terrible, complete waste of money.
And then if
You
you
know
buy
what I mean?
third party, they're gonna be more expensive because they're gonna be better
That's
suited.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But what I mean is like a carrying case, right? Like you can probably find on Amazon a carrying case for Nintendo Switch 2 at like a way cheaper price than whatever Nintendo is selling it, right? And you
yeah,
can get it and it'll do its job.
yeah. Most likely.
Like the stuff that you can't buy, like for example, the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, like what should be some bullshit where it has to be the Nintendo Switch 2 camera?
Well, the thing with that camera is it interacts with some games, so yeah, that's the BS bit.
Yeah, but the truth is like for example, unless the game is fully on camera, right? Will I want it, or do I really want that game? You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
You
I
get what I
mean
mean?
that's like remember how they're doing the Mario Party game? The whole new section like revolves around it. Like most of them revolved
Right,
around the
right,
new
but
mechanics, like the
okay, yeah, but
microphone
like
and the camera.
for example, let me give you an example. Let's say a game comes out and needs the camera, right?
I'm not buying it
You know
though.
what I mean? But like it clearly says on the box you need the requirement, right? If I don't like the game, I'm not gonna get the camera,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. If I like the game, yeah, I'll probably get the camera. You know what I mean? But like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, but what I mean is that like, what's some bullshit that when you connect the camera, but like, is this a Nintendo Switch 2 camera? But like, from what you're saying is that it's probably gonna have like, it's probably gonna need to be that because it's gonna have all these, not just camera, it's gonna have like some sort of whole bunch of sensors and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then like if someone
Um.
else makes one, it's probably going to be better and it's probably going to cost more.
Right. And then for the charger, like let's say your charger's damaged, you buy a new charger, right? Any USB-C charger will work.
Hopefully, yeah, it should work. I remember the original Switch. Apparently, if you had like you were using any USB cable, it could sometimes cause issues. But I reckon this one wouldn't.
Right. No, like if you have the same like voltage output, it should be fine.
Oh no, because it's how it worked on the original. Because you know how you docked the normal like handheld mode.
Yeah, yeah,
Depending on which mode, it would take more from it and require more voltage. That's why it could like cause some issues.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know because I did a while. Like I tried it worked fine for me. Even though I just used normal, I didn't have a cable.
yeah.
That was fine. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's a price increase, not the biggest. Well, everyone's freaking out because how much it was going to be, but it wasn't the end of the world, like practically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just gonna cost a bit more.
And then again,
Probably.
like it depends, it depends because I'm not 100% sure how tariffs work. Yeah, that will this price increase be to American only? You know what I mean?
Ooh, I'm probably gonna
Because let me give
say
you, because it depends. Like, let me give you a second, right? If you're buying the Nintendo Switch in Japan, you're not getting impacted by the price increase
yeah.
because you're buying it directly from the country, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is like it depends on how it's being shipped. Like, let's say it's being shipped, like if it's distributed from Japan to all countries, right? For example, yeah,
Yeah.
then there won't be that much pricing. There won't be price increase. But for example, let's say it's sent to America and America sends it to like let's say Canada, then yeah, there'll be a price increase. You know what I mean? Because as long as it goes through America, that's the only time we'll have a price increase.
For other countries, it makes sense, but like
Like,
I
cause
don't know,
think about
because
this for a sec. Well, I want you to think about this for a sec, right? Why wasn't the pre-orders closed on all the other countries except like America?
well, it was also close for Canada as well.
Yeah, obviously Canada because it has to go through America, right? Like I think the tariffs only impacting if it goes through America. You know what I mean?
I guess it makes sense, but we'll
Because
see. I
if like if
guess.
the tariff impacted and like they had to change the price for multiple things, right? That means they had to close the pre-orders for all countries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like But who knows? Who knows what happens in the next? Like maybe the tariffs completely change because we're still in the tariff situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is subject to change.
Like yeah, everything is subjected to change. Um,
But I thought that what they're just gonna do is like from the factories, they'll just send them through to whatever country.
well, that's what I'm saying. But like you like it depends. Like, bro, let's. There might be no direct route to certain countries without going through other countries. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like if you're going to go to Canada, you probably have to go through America. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're going to go to like Mexico, you have to go through America.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right, but I'm saying there's other countries. Why do you have to go through America? You know what I mean? With this tariff situation, if it's true that everything, if it goes to America, like the price increase, right? If that's true, I'm pretty sure every country will change its supply routes to avoid that as much as possible.
I mean, they try. I remember, like, I think it was Apple. Like when this was happening, they were like, they tried sending stuff before they were in place, just so they could save money and
No,
get like
that
it
makes
cheaper,
sense,
but it didn't
obviously.
work.
But what I'm saying is like you want to change your supply route. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Can you imagine? I'm getting hit with this. Like, let's say we're in Australia. Let's say if you're gonna send something, it's like from Asia, it goes to America, then comes to Australia, for example, right?
Right.
I like that's not the case, but I'm trying to say, like, I'm just giving you an example. You want to try and find a different route to get here. You know what I mean?
You'll
Maybe
try,
instead of going to America, you go Papua New Guinea before coming here, for example.
I guess. I
You know
mean,
what I'm
but
saying?
yeah.
Because like it depends. Like okay, like there are two ways of travel. Obviously, there's the air and there's sea, right?
Right.
And if you go to, the point is not about like traveling the distance. The point is the the point we're trying to make is right. We live in a world where like um you'll need to stop the plane to fuel up on fuel and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, of
Because
course,
it's
it
not
makes
going to make the
sense.
distance, right? That's why I'm saying it's going to stop. But if the issue is that if you're going to stop in America, right? That's I think when the tariffs apply. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know how 100% it would work
Yeah,
based
but
on
like
that,
for
at
I'm just saying
least.
I'm just making my assumption. Like, I'm just basically on my assumption. I might be completely wrong, but like let's say you
Yeah.
want to change your fly route, but you can't. Like let's say because you're already stopping at a spot, and let's say that spot is America, that means you clearly cannot make the distance one go to that direct country. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Guess that makes sense.
Right, but that's why you gotta either find another country or you gotta like wait until like a more like better transportation, like you know what I mean, a new plane or a new boat comes out and they can make the distance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just comparing prices whilst we were chatting.
Hmm.
Like the ones, like the accessories, like
Yeah.
American and ours. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. So most of these don't make sense.
We haven't been impacted by the tariffs.
Some of these items
Yeah.
are, the usual bit more expensive. Like, look,
Yeah.
they said they're gonna put the accessory, the SD card at $59 American.
Yeah.
That's 79 here, which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The carrying case and screen protector is the exact same price. The Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons is way overpriced by like $40. Like its Joy-Cons are 95 American, whilst here it's 140. So it's like, what?
You got compare. In my opinion, you don't compare them to the American price. Okay.
Well, even if I don't, it's inconsistent.
No, no. I'm saying you compare it to the yen, to the Japanese yen, where it's
Japanese.
originally made. That's where you got to do the comparison because
But,
that would make the most sense.
well, yeah,
But
but
yes,
then if you compare it, it'd probably be even worse because knowing what I've heard, apparently if you get the Switch from Japan, it's the cheapest by far.
100% it is.
So
100% it's
it'd be even
definitely cheaper.
worse, worse of a comparison.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if you want to compare like the pricing, that's the way you want to go
Yeah,
because I don't know. Anyway,
like the Joy Cons are more expensive than every single game here. What the heck? That's weird. Radio.
anyway, let's move on to something else then. Because we're talking about too much of the price hike.
Yeah.
Um, Move on to. I want to bring this up quickly because we should have brought this up earlier. Let's talk about like the Revenge of the Sith 20th year anniversary. Decided to have its rerun in theaters here in Australia this weekend.
I think it
Yeah,
also did
2020
globally.
But it was globally. Okay, well, it was globally. Unfortunately, we couldn't catch it because we were really busy. Yeah, I thought I'd give tribute to that movie. That movie's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
My favorite scene is when like Obi-Wan says, "Anakin, don't do it. I have the high ground." That is the best bit in the movie, in my opinion,
That's funny.
because it's memeable.
Memeable.
Yeah,
The whole movie's memeable.
yeah, but that's why I like
Yeah.
it. This movie's great. Maybe we'll do a Revenge of the Sith watch for the 20th year anniversary. Okay, that might be our next movie review. Uh, in a couple of weeks' time, not a couple of weeks. In whenever we have our next podcast, we'll do a Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary
Alright, cool. I don't mind.
movie review.
Movie review.
I thought I'd bring that up now because I should have brought it up earlier. Let's go on to something. I know it's a completely like random segue,
That's fine.
but I'll go back to gaming for a bit. Talk about Oblivion,
Oblivion remaster.
an old game that decided to remake the game and call it a remaster because it's actually a remake.
That's Bethesda for you. Bethesda
Yeah, it's a good game.
Studios.
It's released. It's a good game. You know, this was one game when I saw it was like they're making it again. I actually got scared
Why? Because
because
you think they'd make it worse?
that's exactly why.
Yeah, I mean,
Knowing Bethesda,
knowing Bethesda, everyone had like that probably initial reaction like, "Oh, are they gonna screw it up?"
that's exactly it.
But then that's because it wasn't even like no one. It wasn't like even announced. It's like when it was rumored and people were like, "Oh no, don't miss it all." And then when the first like not even try, like they had a live stream for it, and then literally like at the end of the live stream, it's like, "Oh yeah, it's out today. Have fun." And you're like, "What?" Because people are like, "This actually looks really good," and they're like, "Yeah, it does." So, anyways, here you go. Have the game, play it. And you're like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll play it." And then yeah,
Because like I said, knowing Bethesda, like their recent history, by the way,
yeah, hasn't been too
has
good.
not been good.
Because what you got? What is it called? It's the space game. I'm forgetting what it's called now. Always get it confused with a different game. What is it called? Let me search it. Bethesda.
I forgot what the space game.
Starfield. Always get it confused with Star Citizen. Starfield, that's the game. Starfield was kind of really meh. And then what before that was like what Fallout 76. So
not even meh. That was like below meh.
yeah, it was like underwhelming.
Bro,
Or even like
underwhelming doesn't begin to explain
bad.
it, bro. It was just bad.
And then there's like what? And then like Fallout 76.
No, Fallout 76 was a bad one.
I think between that was probably what? Doom.
The other game, the vampire game that I like was complete rubbish as well.
Oh, that wasn't Bethesda though. That was Arcane.
Oh, was it? I thought
Yep.
it was Bethesda.
No, you're thinking of
Oh,
Redfall,
that was
right? Yeah.
First game like under Microsoft.
What on the? Wait, who are we talking about? Bethesda? Or are we talking about Arcane?
No, it wasn't Redfall, but I don't know, bro. Where we're going with
But
this.
Arcane, no. So Arcane was Arcane had Redfall, and that was its first game on the Microsoft, and then that side of that studio got shut down because of it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean they have two studios, and one of them got shut down.
Okay, fair enough. I think I'm having completely confusing. Yeah, but like anyway, all we know is Bethesda does not have a great history with games in the recent history. Yeah.
Yeah, only like a recent good game was like Doom, like the second Doom game.
Correct.
Yeah, and I mean another one's also coming out. So I mean, well, actually, they did have the what do you call it, Indiana Jones game, which people liked. So
But wasn't marketed well.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, because a lot of people didn't know about it.
Yeah, a lot, but apparently it was a good game.
Well, commercially didn't do that well. Like if I remember correctly, commercially did a good one. Yeah. So what we're trying to say is that we don't have faith in Bethesda, but then they're actually making a really good Oblivion remaster. They call it
remaster, which is a remake, but yeah,
which is a remake. Any words on Oblivion?
I mean, it looks good. I've already had a friend ask me, "Am I going to get it?" And I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of money. Too much money.
Yeah.
It's also not a game I'm eyeing out at the moment, so yeah.
Which we are both eyeing out. Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Is a game that was dropped.
Game that was dropped. That's funny. Nah, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was Oblivion.
Oblivion was Shadow dropped. Dude, I'm getting my things mixed up.
It's
Expedition 33.
This game had. I was gonna say a bunch of trailers, but I remember seeing like 2 to 3 trailers for it. But like with the initial trailer I saw, I don't even remember how long ago, maybe like a year or two ago. I was like sold. I'm like, this game looks cool.
No, the game looks so good. We haven't played it. We may get it. I will give you our thoughts on it. But what's about this game is that pretty much most of the workers are former Ubisoft staff.
Developers, yeah.
Clearly indicates the problem with Ubisoft was not the developers. It's someone called the Suits.
Yeah, leadership.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Ubisoft was well, actually, before I say anything, this is like the final nail in the coffin for Ubisoft, in my opinion.
I mean, it's slowly kind of dying.
Well, no, I know, but that's a final nail coffin. Yeah. Like the fact is that your former workers, right, go and they don't even go to a new company. They started their own like indie, whatever it's called, development, right?
Yeah.
And then they come out and then they create a big game, right? Well, not big game, like big commercially successful game that the number 1 rated game of this year so far, right?
Yep.
Everyone talk about it. When I say everyone, I've seen a few people talk about it. It looks incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It clearly sends a message to the company.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine
you know
like, yeah, it was only like what 30 people or something worked on the game.
Yeah.
Well, so like I don't know, Assassin's Creed Shadow had probably like hundreds of people.
Right, but like what I'm trying to say, it sends a big message. Even the most obvious message being being like two letters. It's sending another message. You know what the first message they sent, right?
Sorry.
I'm saying it sent a big message with 2 letters. To the company.
Right.
And you don't get it, do you?
Is it supposed to be? Does the first letter supposed to be an F?
Yes.
And is the second one a U?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, probably got it.
The other message it says, right, is that it's not the developer's fault.
No.
The developers are just doing what the Suits do. So once the developers come here, they elect one probably senior developer as a leader of the group, and and they all work together and come up with an incredible game, and they just release it.
Yeah.
It clearly shows that Ubisoft does have talented developers. They're just not given like time, money, resources, a good premise. They're probably like just include as much microtransaction as possible. I haven't played the game, so I don't know if this game does have microtransaction, but I'm pretty sure it probably won't. Or if it did, it's probably very minimal. And won't affect gameplay. Yeah. Any other words you got to say about that?
No, the game looks beautiful. It's turn-based. I don't know, just like it's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, you had that inkling. It's like it looks like it's going to be a great game, and then it's like, shocker, it actually really is.
Do you know what pisses me off this whole situation?
What?
That like Ubisoft's an incompetent like company, right? I mean, to be fair, we all knew that, right?
Yeah.
But It also pisses me off that this is a group of 30 people, right?
Yeah.
And we're saying that Ubisoft has hundreds of employees. That means they probably have hundreds of just as talented as these 30 employees, just as talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, it would piss me off because that means had like the suits actually not intervened, we could have had some incredible games with Ubisoft IP. Like Assassin's Creed Shadow could have actually been incredible. You know what I mean?
Could have been. You never know what
Or
the
like
suits
to get
want. Maybe it's like,
I'm just saying like imagine without the suits, like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we could have had an incredible Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? We could have had an I don't know what's the other game prior to like Assassin's Creed that was like shocker.
What Skull and Bones?
You know, Skull and Girls was tragic. That was never going to be incredible. But you kind of know what I'm saying? Like, we could have had all
Yeah.
these IPs because they've got a good IP. Like we could have had a crazy good Splinter Cell game. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, that'd be pretty good actually.
Yeah, but we're probably never going to get these because like Tencent will buy out Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this rate,
IPs are
probably.
probably all going to go to Tencent, right? Um,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't see why they would sell it.
I know, but that means like all these IPs are probably going to be mobile phone games,
Yeah, true.
right? So yeah, and then on top of that, like um, I don't know if these developers go, but like the good thing is that if these developers do leave, right, and other join up with these other developers, like you know what I mean, because these people like call up our other developer buddies, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
if we can
okay.
if we can get them across to our company, we can get our company bigger from 30 employees to more. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like these people would still have connections within Ubisoft. You know what I mean? And if those people want to jump ship, yeah,
they can.
like if they join up, and then like their future games are gonna might be incredible. Or if those developers don't even want to join up and they make their own, you know what I mean? They can make something great, fantastic games.
Sure.
Yeah, but see, like the only problem that sucks is that we will never see any crazy OP like not OP like crazy good like IPs that Ubisoft made into crazy good games.
Yeah,
Because I'm telling you now, after the rumored, I don't know if it's still going on, right? Assassin's Creed 4 remake was a remaster.
it's a remake.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any more like, especially if Tencent buys out. I don't think we'll see any more phenomenal Assassin's Creed games.
You never know. I mean, isn't
True,
whatchamacallit
you never know. That is true. You never know.
like? Just need to double check something.
You
Do-do-do-do.
never know. Maybe like Tencent comes down. They're like, actually, we don't want to make phone games with these IPs. We want to make actual games. And then like, holy shit.
You never know. They could, because I mean, they were. I do know they have a game that's like an Assassin's Creed on the phone. I think it's still in development, but it's in like collaboration with Tencent. So they have a
Yeah,
game that's like a collab with them. I don't know. I have no idea how far that game
yeah,
is out, but I still think it's under development. And from like the leaks that were like ages ago now, it looked like really like for a phone game, it like looked really good. But that was like maybe a year or two ago now, and I have no idea if that's still a thing or not. But yeah, at this rate, it's like if Ubisoft still is sinking and sinking, whenever that deal with Tencent is over, Tencent might just go and buy them up. Well, not deal that contract, but that's kind of stopping them. They'll probably just
yep,
go and buy them up. So yeah, but you know, Ubisoft is a sinking ship.
yep. Okay, let's move on. And unless you got any last words.
Expedition 33 looks really good, and I'm tempted to buy it, and wanting to buy it, but maybe sooner. No, not now. A bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to some movies. We saw the trailer to Fantastic Four because they dropped that very recently,
Yep.
and let's give our thoughts.
Well, I like the beginning of the trailer. I can say that it was like really like charming, and
We'll
then
link the trailer down below so you can just have a look what we're talking
yeah,
about. Um,
But then he kind of went in like a completely different direction to what I think it was going. I'm like,
Dude,
oh, okay.
it was a direction of two halves. It
Yeah,
was like it's like one half. It's like you think like the I don't know. It's super chill, and the next half everything's happening.
yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, look, happy, 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 and then like 2 seconds later, all right.
not happy.
Anyways,
Not happy. It's like let's just change
the
it to like
world's getting
this is
destroyed.
this is an action movie. This is not like a
Yeah,
melodramatic soap opera. This is an action movie. We gotta throw some action in there. Um,
we need to get everyone watching. We need all the children watching. We need to give them a reason to watch.
dude, I'm gonna say it. I think the CGI is terrible for this movie.
Yeah, some of the not even some. A lot of
The
the
thing looks
CGI elements
okay.
will
The
be
thing looks okay. Silver Surfer looks complete rubbish, and
the
like the stretchiness looks terrible. The
they were hiding it. It's clear that they're hiding it because I only saw the stretchiness like once in the trailer. And I'm
there's
like,
only but it looks
yeah,
really bad. Like you
it
could have.
doesn't look that good. Hmm.
They are definitely hiding it because he could like like dude. If I had stretchy powers, I'd be using it all the time. There is no way he doesn't use it all the time.
Exactly.
Um, like you saw the bit where he just crossed out like the blackboard. Why didn't he stretch out his hand to cross that out?
Don't know.
Like, yeah, they're definitely hiding that.
Because, like, to be honest, if your character had superpowers, he'd be using it like on the daily. It doesn't
Well,
look
no, it
like he
depends
uses it
on
on
the
the daily.
superpower, fam. It depends on the superpower.
Oh yeah, but like we know Mr. Fantastic's superpower. You know, it's stretchiness.
Yeah,
Like in
because
every other media, he uses it constantly. This he
correct,
uses it like
100%
once.
correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What else is there? Like the I forgot her name. The Invisible Girl's power looks complete rubbish as well.
It looked better than the other one. It looked better than the
Oh, definitely,
stretchiness.
but it
Yeah.
still didn't look good. Like the CGI didn't look
I
good.
mean, I think the best looking ones were definitely what the torch and the thing.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah,
best looking one, but like yeah, but I'm saying is like Silver Surfer looks complete rubbish as well.
yeah. I want
Uh,
to see how Galactus looks. We only saw the
Galactic,
boots.
yeah, bro, they're hiding him as well.
Galactus was taking a stroll through New York City.
We
That
saw his
comment's
foot and then we saw
hilarious.
his shadow.
Yeah, that's it.
Not good signs. Well, to be fair, like the reason I'm hiding is because he's obviously a major. Like if they show him, it's like a
Yeah.
major spoiler or
Well, I
whatever.
mean, it's
But like,
quite obvious just from
it's
looking at
very
it. Yeah,
obvious. But what I'm saying is like they're not going to show it.
yeah. I do find it funny that they just have him like walking through the city, but it looks so goofy. It will look even more goofy on the big screen. I guarantee it.
Dude, dude? Okay, I'm gonna say it now, right?
Yeah,
I think the final scene is going to be Mister Fantastic. Yeah,
yeah.
just grows giant, and then like there's a giant fist
Lights it.
fight between him and Galactus. Like that is the final scene.
Hydra battle.
I'm being serious. That's legit. What's gonna happen?
Oh my god, the
I don't
CGI.
see it
Oh,
going
the
any other way.
CGI though. Ooh, yeah, it's not gonna look
That's what
good,
I'm
is it?
saying. It's gonna be a terrible like 5-10 minutes.
That's gonna be
It's
interesting.
going to be a terrible 5-10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be some bullshit where like Mister Fantastic's not using all his powers, like some bullshit where because like, well, because when he did like some bullshit that we said like about like thinning the fabric of the universe, like of space, and then like they're getting destroyed, right? And he's using his powers like to save people and all that stuff. And then out of those, we're like, do I have to? And then he uses his power, goes giant, and there's gonna be a terrible 5 minute, 10 minute battle scene.
It's even gonna be that. It's gonna be like the power of friendship and stuff, and then they save the day.
No,
Yeah,
but you
something
kind of get what I'm
generic.
saying.
No, I get what you mean.
That's what I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
don't
I only
know.
say this just because like I don't know. I don't see it happening any other way. This movie looks like it's centered all around Mister Fantastic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he seems to be the main character.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's.
I wouldn't be surprised as well as Invisible Girls also like in a similar kind of role. But the other two seem more like more side than
Hundred
main.
percent, hundred
Yeah.
percent.
No. We'll say
But
that.
like, because I feel like it's just like a team thing. But then like Mister Fantastic will have like the most growth. That's just how it's
Maybe,
gonna go.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'd be surprised because I think I'm gonna be completely honest. I think like it's too hard. Like because I see it like the first 30 minutes, everything is chill, right?
Yeah.
So you're cutting 30 minutes of runtime, and then you're telling us, all right, it's a 2 hour movie. Let's say, for example, 30 minutes is gonna be chill, like showing off the world before like Silver Surfer gets there, right? And then you go like an hour and a half. You want to try and improve 4 characters. It's too hard.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want a good film with, yeah, I think it's too hard. So I think they're gonna try to push like it's being focused on Mr. Fantastic. Dude, the other time we saw Mr. Fantastic in the Wonder, like what's it called? Like the multiverse, the multiverse
Doctor
madness,
Strange, yeah.
Doctor Strange. Yeah. Um, how was he CGI? I don't remember that. I didn't think it was
I think
fantastic.
I think it was fine. But he also got like took it out in like less than 10 seconds, so it's like
Yeah, so we
yeah.
didn't get much. Yeah, so yeah, fair enough.
No, I mean it's the same actor though, so it's like yeah.
No,
But
I get that. I'm just trying to say like they were not like they did not use like it's because the movie's
you're
not
saying you're
centered
not
around
just
this character.
using the same like effect, you mean, or
What I'm trying to get at is right.
yeah.
Like okay, Doctor Strange, the whole movie's about effects, so they chucked all their budget into effects.
Yeah.
The CGI is gonna look good, right? This movie's not all about effects, okay?
No, most of it's practical from the looks of things.
Right? They probably like, all right, let's make the thing look as good as possible because like every time he's on screen, if it looks ugly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this movie's gonna bomb, right? So the thing looks decent, like right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but like I'm telling you now, like to make like what I'm trying to get is like you got to think about this, right? Because like I said, if you're comparing the two movies, like Doctor Strange, the whole movie is all CGI effects. You know what I mean? CGI effects, all these like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So obviously all this shit's like high quality, right? But then this movie, I sit there, it's like all right, like the CGI budget is probably not as high as like Doctor Strange. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Yeah. And you know, the last few Marvel movies are bombed, so that Marvel itself doesn't you know, like I'm probably like, all right, like we gotta get a W somewhere. Let's like chop some like money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like chop some budgets down.
Yeah, let's chop some budget so like if it sells at least we'll be profitable, you know what I mean? But that means there's gonna be some ass scenes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I generally don't know. Now we probably will never know because we both agree this movie looks terrible and we're not gonna see it.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, so we will never know. We might see on the internet people's thoughts, and we might see scenes. If this movie comes out and is good, I might go see it.
Yeah, that's what I do nowadays. It's more like unless I think it's good, I just see what like not what other
Yeah,
people
but
say,
then
but if it's
yeah,
like
but like let me
if I
give you this
hear
like
it's good, I'll just watch it kind of thing.
right. But then there are movies you look at the trailer, like, you know it's gonna be good, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then there's movies where you know it's gonna be ass, and then people say it's actually good. You're like, holy shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
you know what I
if it
mean? Yeah,
is, then I'll watch it. If it isn't,
yeah,
I'm not
exactly,
watching.
exactly. It's the exact point. It's the exact point. Speaking of movies, right? Marvel's got another movie, and this one's closer than the Fantastic Four.
On the bolt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Uh,
I don't know how to explain this thing. The villain looks uninteresting as hell. You know what I mean?
Burr is just a walking shadow. What the void? That's
Um,
his name.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
And White makes everything like great. He makes everything a shadow
Bro,
basically.
he makes you look like a smidge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like
it's like you know, like you got a paper and like you got like and then you smidge it across. Like that's what it looks like.
and then they have like the B to C
Yeah,
cast heroes trying to
for me,
defeat him.
like yeah, bro, like the only interesting character is Bucky.
I mean, he's the only one that I guess had like
But
the
the
rest of them
story
are from
focus
like a different
like
film.
what'd you say?
Most of them are from like what the Widow film, whatever, yeah,
Correct.
Black
What I'm
Widow
trying to
film.
get at, it's like these characters are like they're trying to show like we are not the heroes we because they all these characters did something bad. What they're trying to say,
Yeah,
right? But like I said, like Bucky's the only one. I'm like, I do the other the other girl with the thing. Looks like it's centered around her.
yeah. What Melina is that her name?
I forgot her name. Elena.
Melina, like the sister to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Black Widow. It's what do you call it? I don't know because the trailer looks somber, but then every time I see ads on the movie, it makes it look like a comedy, and I'm like, so what are we going for? Like something that's laughing
But okay,
comedy
like
or like a
bro, I
somber kind
don't
of
know
tone?
because okay, like let me hear with this. The villain looks uninteresting, right?
Yeah, no, it
Outside of
definitely
Bucky,
does.
the characters are not that great.
And yeah, and then the movie is
The
just
setting
like
is terrible, bro. Like it's all gray. Like bro, it's all like the somber mood like movie. You know what I mean?
I mean they're in New York City, it makes sense. It's all great, but like I mean like the city itself, not like
No,
the
I get
aesthetics
that,
of the
but then they
movie,
put
but
like a
like yeah.
gray like on top of it. They put a gray filter on top of it.
And then I mean then the villain just makes everything well.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
dude, the villain like makes everything dark anyway. So we're getting like a gray thing, bro. Like imagine watching this in the cinema, bro. Like half the screen's black, bro.
so just so we're clear, if you're watching this
I can't.
movie, what
What?
if you want to watch? Okay, so every person, like every character, like all the like you know how there's like it's a bunch of heroes
Yeah.
quotation marks. Bucky is the only one that Bucky's the only one who's been in multiple movies. The other ones are from Black Widow, and one of them's from the Captain America slash what do you call it?
Red Hulk.
Not that movie. It's from the TV show. The
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm forgetting the bloke's name now. Like the Falcon TV show. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like you'd have to watch another. You have to watch like multiple movies and like a TV show. And you're like, oh yeah, these were these
And these are
people came from.
now they this that is the way like Marvel is.
I hate it to be honest.
But like I'm here with this. I'm here with this, right? I'm here with this, right?
Yeah,
Bucky's I think is the only one in that movie who's actually like transformed into fully being good.
yeah. The rest of them are kind
Has
of
had his redemption arc. So
yeah,
this guy's trying to teach them guys like you can redeem yourself. That's the whole movie. It's him
yeah.
teaching them how to redeem themselves. That's it.
That's the whole point. It's just
Yeah, I get that.
it just seems like they're all kind of not all of them, but I guess it's like it just
There's like
sounds
a whole
like
bunch of randoms.
yeah, but no, but it's also like the victim thing.
Right, but I kind of
Yeah,
get why they're doing it because like they have to try and push this because like we're getting closer to the next Avengers film, like the big Avengers film. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So they have to do all this shit with all because that's why we're not seeing like characters like Spider Man, Thor, Hulk. We're not seeing those characters. Those characters are already there. You know what I mean? They'll show up.
yeah.
The next film that these characters are going to show up is Avengers. You know what I mean? So we're trying to push all these other characters that will show up in the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Because if we don't develop these characters in these movies, right? When they
right.
show up in their like how do you say it in the Avengers, is they're gonna be like they have no substance, right?
Right.
Whereas like for example, like Spider Man, Thor, Hulk, a few more, you know what I mean? They
Doctor
have
Strange.
Doctor Strange, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they
It,
have their own stuff, but like at the end of each of those movies, yeah,
yeah.
at the end of each of those movies, like for example, Doctor Strange is the third eyeball, or like what's it called?
And he was kidnapped.
Spider Man goes to a new place. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was like he was kidnapped or whatever.
Who?
Doctor Strange. And they're like, oh, you must
Yeah,
help
yeah, yeah.
us or something. See,
Right, right. And then
that's why I
like
don't understand though. It's like they make it sound like there's no one available. But I can
trying to
only
get
think of like two people that aren't available and everyone else kind of is.
yeah, but then like what I'm trying to say is like what I'm trying to say is yeah.
Yeah.
Um um but when we watch next Avengers film, I don't know if we will watch it, but when it does come out, right?
Yeah.
Um it's gonna be like so much stuff has happened off screen. You get what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Like so much stuff happened off screen, yeah. That you kind of get what I mean. You kind of get what I'm saying. Like it'll
Yeah.
just be like for example, the ending of each of these movies, yeah,
Yeah.
suggests that a next movie should be coming out. Like the
Right.
end of Doctor Strange, like, oh, we're gonna get another Doctor Strange movie, right? And then we never do.
Yeah, but it's like you'll see him next in Avengers or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the same with the Spider Man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, but the reason why they're doing it is like, well, if they don't do that, like, then they can't develop other characters that are gonna show up in Avengers. Because imagine if these characters that we saw, like Bucky and all the group, right, show
Yeah.
up in Avengers, and we're like, all right, well, who like you know what I mean? Like everyone, like it's either like a who are they or like you know what I mean? Like they're completely useless because they have like no backstory, no nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're
I don't
saying.
know. Like in my opinion, I think it's getting out of hand. I feel like Avengers is gonna be like a group of like what like 30, 40 people now. Like damn, like you know what I mean?
Kind of was like that when the last Avengers was, but it wasn't all focused on them. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
focused
but they
on
had
the
to
main
do
group.
two Avenger movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because some of the members had to be in one, and then some of the members had to be in the second. And
thing
because of
is
that, they
though,
had to kill off like a whole bunch of people for the second to work. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
no, it makes sense. It's just even this Avengers movie, like they were setting up a story, but then because of like remember how we watched the Ant-Man movie
Yeah, yeah,
and there was that they were versing that guy.
yeah,
He's meant to be the big bad, but the actor got into some trouble, like legal
yep,
things, and then had to drop down and go for something completely different. So it's also kind of screwed
yep.
them up. And it's just like so, I'm like, it's just a mess from the sounds of it.
I don't know. Because okay, on top of that, we haven't seen the cast movie for Avengers because they did do a cast movie a release.
Oh yeah, but wasn't it like? Didn't they end up doing like they're gonna do Doom? That's the whole thing. Was that something else? I
Yes,
remember
but what
Yeah,
I mean is like if we watched the cast, we would have known like who's in it.
yeah,
We would
but
have like
yeah.
yeah,
Apparently, I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, apparently a lot of people are like
yeah.
new peeps, like a lot of newly named people. So there's
Mm.
some old people, like some older peeps, but a lot of the people there are like new names.
I don't
So
know.
it's gonna be
I don't
interesting. I don't
know.
know.
I don't know. We will see. But us two because I'm gonna say it, the previous movie before these two was the Captain America one, which was not that great either.
Yeah,
Um, Marvel movies just being shit now.
I mean they've been for a bit now.
Well, because I remember Marvel movies used to be some of the peakest movies in existence. You know what I mean?
I mean they were great movies. Yeah, I'm not
Right,
saying.
dude. If like we think Avengers: Infinity War is like one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, 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 we
Right.
do.
I think the original Avengers is another fantastic movie. Right. Iron Man is such a good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But it was because it was very,
The Spider-Man trilogy that like Tom Holland is a really good trilogy as well.
it's very kind of neatly woven, and it's
Yep,
also very tightly woven. Whilst now it's
dude.
very loose and very confusing and
I
very
think
bad.
the last best Avengers movie that came out was probably like Spider-Man, like the last Spider-Man.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't disagree.
Look, I don't think like the last like I don't think I think Doctor Strange was solid. I don't think it's terrible,
I didn't like
but like
it
what?
personally. I personally didn't like
Yeah, but
Doctor Strange.
like okay. I think Doctor Strange is still better than these recent ones.
How about four? Like the what Love and Thunder?
Which one do you think is better, Doctor Strange or Thor? Is that what you're saying?
I might say four to be honest. I don't think either of them are good, but I might say four.
I'd say they're to me. I'd say they're both on the same level, right?
Yeah,
But what I'm trying to say is, okay, Thor and Doctor Strange, yeah,
yeah.
are both way better than like
The
the
more recent ones, yeah.
Captain America
Yeah. Well, Captain
or
America New
the
World.
or these two that are looking to come out
Yeah.
or whatever the other one. What's the other one? Like the one that was like so bad. Like
The one that was so bad.
yeah. I completely erased it from my memory.
I don't even remember. I'll have to
Yeah,
search.
yeah. So you've erased it from your memory. I don't know its name, but like uh
I'm actually like I have to look it up. I don't
no,
know.
you'll know it when you see it.
I'm like getting a list up of all the movies.
Yeah.
Which one? Okay, the only good one. Okay, we didn't watch this one. The Deadpool one I heard was really good.
No, but
Uh,
I count Deadpool as
like Deadpool and
I
Wolverine. I'm
count it.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And before that was like the Marvels.
No, that's the one. That's the one.
And before that is Guardian Galaxies Volume 3, and then it's Ant-Man and
No,
the
no, I'm saying
Wasp.
Marvel. Marvel's the one
Yeah.
I was mentioning. Marvel was so bad, I forgot it.
I completely forgot that we watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Completely forgot.
I didn't think that was that good either. Like
No, it
compared
wasn't.
to, you know what I mean?
Even Ant-Man wasn't that great either. I wouldn't go
Bro, but like I want you to hit with this, bro. I'm gonna hit with this.
yeah.
Captain America, like 1 and 2 are incredible compared to 3.
Yeah, I think I like Civil War. I really like Civil War.
No,
Civil
Civil War is
War is so
incredible. I
good.
think
Yeah.
Civil War is one of the because I'm gonna be honest. Like for me, number
Oh,
one right now
actually,
would
wait. Sorry. Let me rephrase. I like there's four actually Captain America movies. I like the second and third one. I like the second one
Oh,
probably the
sorry, sorry. Yeah,
best.
the second. Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Winter
Okay, yeah.
Soldier.
The first three I liked before the last
Yeah.
one.
I was gonna say the Winter Soldier. I really like that one. Then I like Civil War.
Yes, but the first
But
one was so good as
first one's
well. The
good.
first one was
I'm saying
yeah.
the first one. I'm not saying the first one's bad. I like those. I prefer those two though. The new
But
one's
this recent
no,
one is
no,
complete rubbish.
no. Yeah,
But what I'm trying to get at is if you, I want to hit this. I want to hit this right. Um, right.
yeah,
The because we think Infinity War is the best one, right?
yeah. Best movie
Right,
like
and then
overall.
we probably both agree that Spider Man is the one below it.
Yeah, probably.
And then we're both agreeing that Civil War and is the third best one, the original Ant Man.
Sorry, what was that? The
Civil
what?
War or Ant Man is the third best Marvel movie.
It's either that or Winter Soldier. I even put that there. So
So you're saying Ant Man, Civil War, and Winter Soldier is your third place?
yeah,
Oh, not even third. We're saying same tier, right? So
yeah,
like S tier would be like Infinity Wars. S tier would be like, and then A tier would be these three.
yeah,
Okay, see, we're on the same planet. We're on the same whatever it's called. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Wavelength. But like nowadays, like my money going on Marvel films unless people said it was good.
Hmm. I don't know. Like, yeah. I mean, like even the good ones. I still haven't even watched some of the good ones that even came out
Mm.
recently.
Like Deadpool, Wolverine,
Yeah,
that's
I haven't
good, but
watched
like
it.
I don't consider it like Marvel because like it's like I don't know, like it's a complete. It feels like a completely different show, you know, because it's like you know what I mean,
It's more so like Ryan Reynolds doing his own thing.
right? Because it's like the mature ratings are R18, like everything else like M. You know what I mean?
Probably more
Like
closer
it
to like
feels
a
different.
Fox film than Disney.
Mm-hmm.
But you know they
Correct,
bought
correct.
him, so
Yeah. Okay. Does that mean, and this is going to a last thing we'll discuss, does this give opportunity for DC to come out with banger movies?
I mean they have the Superman movie coming up. I hope. Still waiting for Batman too. That's what I'm currently still waiting for personally.
Yeah, but like okay, but I'm talking about DC, a DC universe.
Oh, I mean it gives them time to like flesh it out more.
Because
But
like I sit there, right?
yeah,
It's like Batman is always good.
yeah. It's just oh well,
Batman
it
trilogy,
always translates well to film, I guess.
like the Dark Knight trilogy is incredible.
Yeah,
The last Batman movie, incredible.
we'll ignore Batman v Superman.
No, we'll ignore that. I'm just saying Batman is solely Batman,
Yeah,
right? However, DC, like whenever DC tries to do a universe, right? Like Wonder Woman is good, like the first one, that one's good, but then like they've always screwed up when it comes to Superman, and they've always screwed up when it comes to
the
how do you say
expanded
it?
stuff.
Like DC universe.
Yeah, like when they try to make
So
it, yeah, they kind of screws up.
is this the time where like Marvel is on shaky grounds? We start pulling off some moves. You know what I mean? Because the movie, like the Superman trailer, looks really good.
It does, and it also it's not like even though it's just a Superman movie, it looks like it already has stuff in place for other things. So it's it's like how can I say? It's like John Wick. Remember how when we watched the first John Wick, it
Mm.
felt like a universe that was already there, like stuff that was already in
Correct,
motion.
correct, correct,
That's what this feels
correct.
like. This feels like it has a
Mm.
plot. It's like oh, even though you're meeting these characters for the first time, it's not like they've known
Correct,
each
correct.
other.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So
I
it's
agree with you.
like I hope it gets
This
a
movie's
good
gonna be good.
reception.
This movie's gonna be good. I already felt from the trailer this movie's gonna be good.
When does it even come out? I don't know. Does it have a date? 10th of July. That's not far away.
That's not far at all.
Yeah.
This movie's gonna be good. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we get a new podcast episode, we will watch Revenge of the Sith for the 20th year anniversary,
Hopefully.
and we'll give our review on that.
Yeah.
Any other thing you want to say?
Not really. I'll check out. Comment, like, subscribe. Check out some of the stuff we chatted about, like on Expedition
Yeah,
33.
we'll link the trailers on
Yeah,
the below.
Oblivion. Check out some of the trailers. Have your own opinion. If you think they're good, let us know. If you think they're bad, let us know. That kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's all I have to say.
Yep. Same here.
Alrighty. Bye bye.
Bye.